Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in once again. Sorry for the little unplanned hiatus. Definitely did not mean to take a couple week break there, but had a little bit of a serious incident at the track, maybe like 2.5 weeks ago, where I was pretty sure that my ankle was completely shattered and just destroyed. Pretty scary moment there for a while. I was in a pretty low spot and I was just imagining that my season was completely over before it even started. I'll show you guys the footage of it and some pictures of my ankle and stuff over the past 2.5 weeks in a minute. So of course, I've just been devoting all of my time, energy, and focus into just healing up, getting back to 100%. So that I can keep training for the outdoor season. Obviously my ankle's not broken. I'm able to walk around right now, and recovery actually went really well, which is incredible considering how gnarly it was. You guys will see in a minute, but happy to say already been back on the bike a couple times, just doing like standing up, feet on the peg moto so that I don't dab my foot or anything, and it's been feeling pretty decent. I would say we're at about 84.1% if I had to put a number to it. And every time I do more and more activity, it's like stretching it out more and it feels better and better. So I think we're gonna be fully back up to speed here in no time, which I'm very excited about. And hopefully we didn't lose too much fitness or anything like that, and we can get ready for the season and get back into it. Before I show you guys all that though, I do have some good news to go over in this video real quick. Super excited to be pairing up with the guys over at MX Locker to give away an exact replica of my Pro National Race Bell Moto 10 from the 2022 national season. It's gonna look identical to this one. This matched my Bang Energy racing graphics from last year, has my name on the back. So we're gonna give away an exact replica of this. Whoever wins is gonna get to pick the size of the Bell Moto 10, and then you'll also get to choose what you wanna put on the back. I'm assuming you don't want it to say Jeff on the back of your helmet, but hey, if you do, you'll have that option. But super cool. If you add the helmet and a paint job together, that's like a $1,500 value, and it's completely free to enter. All you have to do is download the MX Locker app and follow my seller profile. Next, you have to be following me and MX Locker on Instagram. I'll put the handles up on the screen now. And then I have a post over on Instagram, so does MX Locker, giving the details for the helmet giveaway. You have to like that and tag 3 of your friends in that post. So pretty standard stuff for any sort of giveaway like that. You guys probably have done many of these, so you know the drill. Pretty easy to get entered, completely free, and you might get yourself a sweet little $1,500 custom Bell Moto 10 helmet. Would be pretty rad. Beyond that, you guys may recall that back in 2021, I did a different title sponsor for every round of outdoors. I'll put some photos up on the screen right now to jog your guys' memory. And I'm proud to say that I'll be bringing that back this year. Obviously, no secret that professional racing is pretty expensive, and without bringing sponsors on board, it just wouldn't really be possible. And it's much harder to find one company to cover the whole season. It's much more feasible to do the per round title sponsorship. And I especially like doing it that way because it allows smaller companies to chip in and, you know, put their name on my bike and put it out there on the gate with the guys like Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton. So I prefer to do it this way, and plus I get to work with a bunch of you guys and help you out for all the support that you've shown me. I'm gonna have 2 tiers available for every race. There's like the gold tier and the silver tier, or Tier 1 and Tier 2, whatever you want to say it. Tier 1 will be the main shroud sponsor. So it'll replace the MX Locker logo here, and we'll do like a full color scheme and graphics setup to match the logo. The new 2023 KTM has a black frame, so if I get all black or all white plastic, we can basically make this bike any color. For example, here is a proof of a Yoshimura title sponsor graphic. Can hardly tell it's a KTM, but looks absolutely sick. So that's the Tier 1. Included in that one, obviously the graphic. There will be a whole feature in that weekend's race vlog, dedicated Instagram posts. You'll get the signed number plate after the race, which is pretty cool. And then also I'm including 2 free VIP pit passes. So let's get you access into the pits all day. If you get regular pit passes, you get kicked out at a certain time, but these will let you in the pits all day. You can come hang out in the pit with us, maybe even get in the vlog if that's your thing. If not, no worries, I understand. So that's pretty cool. And then Tier 2 is definitely a lower price point. You'll still get the logo on the shroud and the shout outs and stuff like that. But the reason I'm doing a Tier 2 is because I know that a lot of you guys, even if you don't own a company, you might still like to, you know, just put your Instagram handle or a picture of your cat or whatever on my bike, and I want you guys to be able to do that. So Tier 2 is definitely a more affordable price point for the rest of you guys who might not own a business. So if you guys are interested, or if you know someone who might be interested, my email is jeffwalkermx@gmail.com. Pretty easy one to remember, but it'll also be up on the screen, and nothing's set in stone. So if you guys have some other ideas, maybe you want to to put your logo somewhere else or do some kind of shout out at a race vlog or whatever, I'm totally open. I'm really fortunate to have the social following that I do to provide a value back to anyone who sponsors me. So I'm always up for spitballing some ideas and just making sure that racing is feasible for, you know, the future. If you guys lock in around early enough, there is a potential that we could even do a custom ActiveCo gear set to match the graphics. It does take like a while to get a sample made and get the kits rolling out. So pretty time sensitive. If you want to do that, definitely get at me ASAP and lock it in. The rounds are all just on a first come, first serve basis. A few of them are already filled up, like the popular ones like Redbud. But definitely still quite a few available. So definitely get at me and let's do some cool stuff. Final update or announcement for you guys. You'll see I picked up my race bike for the season. It is an identical bike to the one that I'm sitting on right now. It's a 2023 KTM 450 SXF. You'll notice I got the head ripped off of this thing already and sent to Dasa Racing, just like my race bike last year. My guy Lonnie is gonna do some head porting on it and also tune the Vortex ECU. And then also the rear shock and my other set of cone valves are already at turbo speed tuning, getting done up. We're still kind of dialing in the practice bike setting. So once I finally dial it in and find a setting that I absolutely love on the practice bike, they'll go ahead, throw that setting in the race bike, and then I can go pick that up. So pretty good little system I've got going with those guys. I think that does it for announcements and updates. I'll show you guys kind of what happened at the track. It was just a pretty standard day, really fast, high speed sweeper. I didn't even crash or anything. The front end just tucked a little bit. We were trying to form a new inside berm and I charged into it with some good speed and my front end just blew right through it. So dabbed to the foot insanely hard. My handlebar kind of came down and smashed my knee on the way down, and that just put all of the weight into my foot and my ankle, and immediately I was like, dude, my ankle is completely shattered. Like, being that I have pretty long legs, it's pretty common for me to dab my foot and have some immediate pain, but normally I know right off the rip that everything will be good. It's just gonna be a stinger. Maybe I take a day or two off the bike and get right to it, but this was like immediate. I rode straight off into the weeds, laid my bike over, and immediately ripped my boot off because I could feel my ankle just swelling up inside my boot. And last time I broke my ankle, I made the mistake of leaving my boot on, and that hurt when they finally tried to rip it off. So once I got my boot off and we could see kind of the damage, if you guys don't know, my dad's an ER doctor, so he's pretty familiar with stuff like this, and he was just like, man, I've never seen an ankle swell up that quick and just start turning black and blue like that. Like, unfortunately, bud, I'm pretty sure your ankle is shot. I'm not much of a wuss. I can definitely push through quite a bit of pain, and there was no way that I could put any weight on it right after the crash. And if you would have asked me in a 5-minute time span after the crash, I would have told you that it was done. My season was over. I thought I was gonna need all kinds of surgeries and I was gonna be out for months. And in my head, like, dude, this might be my retirement from pro racing. Like, if I can't ride this season. By the time I got back to the van, I think just getting my boot off and letting my ankle swell up definitely was a good move, because by the time I got back to the van, it wasn't really hurting too bad. So I was asking my dad, I was like, is there any way, like any world in which my ankle would swell up like this and you know, it's not broken? And he's like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen an ankle look like this so quickly before. Like, it's definitely broken. So we were all pretty bummed there for a bit. Went straight to the hospital. He being an ER doctor, we were able to go straight back into the x-ray room, get a quick scan, and he looked at it and he just walked out and he was like, you are one of the luckiest people that I have ever met, because your ankle is all good. So couldn't believe it, but I was very excited. Obviously a broken bone is only like half of the equation. There's all sorts of tendons and ligaments, and in order to figure out if you tore all that, have to go get an MRI. Those can take like weeks to get in because you have to see a specialist, get recommended, and all that. So I decided to give it a couple days, and dude, the first 3-4 days were absolutely miserable. No chance I could walk on it. I was on crutches, fully ace wrapping it. I just got like a 5-gallon bucket of ice water, and I was just dunking my foot in it for like a half hour at a time while I was watching the Formula One Drive to Survive series. Could hardly move it at all. It was swelling up, turning black and blue. So I was pretty sure that I tore some ligaments, and even at that point, I wasn't sure that I was gonna be racing, because obviously torn ligaments, could also require surgery and be a pretty long recovery. So probably the first 5 days were pretty dark. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna be racing or not, and I was just not in a good mental space to make some videos. So kind of put that on the back burner and just focused on getting healthy. And then finally on maybe the 5th day, I was able to just kind of start walking and putting a little weight on it with one crutch. So me and Bridge actually took our dog for a little walk down the road, just one crutching it. And by the time I got back to the house, I could almost walk pretty normally. So that gave me some confidence to start stretching it and do a little bit of mobility work on it. And I woke up the next morning and it was like 70% better. Like I could walk without a crutch, felt pretty good. The swelling was definitely going down. And that was the turning point where I was like, okay, we might be good now. So after that, it was just a bunch of therapy. Obviously fortunate to have the little gym set up over there with the spin bike and all the mobility stuff. So I was just hammering out mobility on this thing. Just under 2 weeks after the initial injury, I was able to ride, which was fantastic. I don't know how it recovered so quickly. It's still kind of swollen and black and blue, but it definitely doesn't hurt anywhere near as bad as it did. So putting a boot on can still be a little bit troublesome, like fitting my booty down into the boot because my ankle's a little swollen. But once I'm actually out on the track, pretty much no pain. I ride on the toes of my feet a lot. So anytime I hit a G out and both of my ankles like bend down behind my pegs, that's kind of what hurts it, or if I dab my foot a little bit. But like I said, I've just been doing feet on the peg motos the past couple days. I'll have a video out on that probably tomorrow or the next day. So actually, a little bit of a blessing because I'm discovering some technique things while I'm doing the feet on the peg motos, and I think this might end up actually being a decent thing for me. So gotta find the light in the dark situations. Definitely excited to be back on the bike and just able to give it full blast training again. Still have plenty of time to get ready for the season. So as of now, I'm planning on going out to California for the first couple rounds and doing the entire series. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little update because I know it's been a while, been a little bit quiet. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd kind of know what was going on, but wanted to give a formal update for the YouTube followers and let you know that everything was all good and we're back on track now. So now that I'm back on the bike, we'll have some hot action coming back on the YouTube channel, and yeah, good things to come. So once again, go ahead, get entered for that MX Locker helmet. Shoot an email to me if you want to know more about the title sponsor packages, and shaping up to be a good season after all. So thank you guys very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.